And the abyssal plane idea, well, that's been scrapped because, as you probably realised, that once your rotor, it may be in repulsion here, but once your rotor's gone the full 360, it's now in the traction there, so that idea has been totally scrapped. But anyway, we're taking this idea here of these two, putting two magnets together like that, which is basically this idea of the ring which we've already shown. It's just like that, really. That idea around there like that. Because we've already shown on previous videos that there's no gating along this axis here, you see. There's no actual gating along that axis. So if you have a whole linear line of these, there's just no gating that way. Which is an important thing, because we showed with the other videos that there's basically little or no friction there when you put the two together, because that the gating problem has been solved, and it's like a free bearing, in other words. So the idea is to get a whole load of these and put them together, because now when you put them together, unlike when you put normal magnets together, you put a whole string of magnets, as I showed in the previous video, you get monopoles towards the outer ends. When you put these together, you don't get that effect. You still, now this is the good bit. You get repulsion here, all the way along there with no gating, of course, but you also get repulsion here and here. So it's repulsion, repulsion, repulsion. Everything's repulsion except for down here. But of course, if we're going to do this all the way around in a big, a big orbicular loop to make this sort of like orbiter, then it will all be repulsion, 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 repulsion to a certain degree at the sides there, which is what we want. The next stage is to work on the interior orbiter, and the idea is now to figure out, we want it to be at a certain angle, so we get repulsion, but of course you've got this idea of attraction coming up here. The idea I'm working on is whether we can put a bit of iron on there or something that will quench the magnetism on there, because like when you stick something to a fridge or you put a piece of metal, it changes the whole look of the field lines. If you get using iron filings, I'll probably make another video up. If you put a thin piece of iron up against a magnet, it totally changes the way the field lines look. So I might have to do a video, and we might be able to use that effect to quench any attractive forces, so we can actually have a much better angle or something. Maybe we can have a tighter angle so we get more force, and just quench the any attractive forces. But actually that one's repulsive there, and it's a sort of a, it's still, I don't know, I think we might be able to get away with it, because it's repulsive there, repulsive, repulsive, so I think we might be able to get away with it. Anyway, we've got to work on it, but I think basically that's as much thinking or thinking I can do on the orbiter idea. I'm just going to have to build an orbiter now as a test rig. Just build a great big one. I don't know what the size is going to be. Practicality will probably work it out, and then I'll just hold it in place with, say, 4 bricks, 2 at either end, just to hold it upright while we do some basic, probably with some connects out of my son's connects box or something. Put in some rough plastic rotors with some of these, masked with masking, held on with masking tape or super glue or something. Just a few test rigs of the rotor in there to see if we can find one that will actually work, will actually start moving. And then once you've got something going, of course, then you can work on it. Once you've got a starting point where something actually is functional and operational, functional and working, you can actually improve on it. But until you get something actually working, you can't improve on it, of course. So anyway, that's as far as I got to there. We've just taken this idea, the so-called Darwin effect, I suppose, that gets with the gating. As I said, you don't really observe this until you've got 3 magnets, because back in the 1970s, class sizes were so large that kids only got to play with 2 magnets, so they never got to see this effect, because you really need 3 magnets to actually start seeing the effect, and how you can actually start using it to get this situation where you get just pure repulsion, and from the sides all over there, so that it just becomes repulsion. which is what you want. You want to get rid of any of those stray, attractive side field lines. You want to get rid of those. So you just got repulsion, no attraction, and then it should work like one of those like a windmill or one of those toy kids fans sort of thing. Anyway, thank you for listening. I reckon this will take about 2 months to build. As I said, this took about this took 2 weeks, so this will probably take a month to 2 months to build the orbiter as a test rig, because I think we need to build this as a test rig. I was thinking of doing like a 4 system one, where you get 4 of these, but I thought that was a bit hard, and maybe having a disc plate in between, so that, you know, these are on either side of the disc ring plate, so they there's something to support these things on. But I thought, nah, it's too much for a build. I think initially, I just need to do this, find all the bugs in it, see what the possibilities are, and go from there. I think that's the way to do it. Anyway, thanks for listening.